Flosstube. This is Barb with Lost in Floss. This channel is primarily about cross stitch, but sometimes I have some wool applique, quilting, sewing projects, craft projects thrown in as well. Plus a little bit of chit chat, which I try to save for the end, but doesn't always work out for me. So today is November 12th, 2025. And I am going to show Christmas. As you can see behind me, if you watched my last video, I took down fall, am busy packing that away, and I'm ready to spring right into Christmas. I did get a few things out, and I think I'm going to show you stitches from the past. So still one of my all-time favorites is Wonderful Life, Stacy Nash. I was lucky enough when this was a limited edition kit from Country Sampler to have a special person lend me the chart, and so I was able to stitch on it prior to being released to the general public. But then I returned when the time came that the chart was released. I returned that chart and bought one of my own, and I love this. I love It's a Wonderful Life movie, and not a perfect drum, but by any means, but I guess I'll put it there so you can actually see it. And then the other one, and I'm not good at always remembering chart names. So if there's one that you would like to know the name of, please just describe it or tell where it occurs in the video, and I'll look it up for you. This one is a Blackbird design one. I thought it had something about Frosty in its title, but I just did a little extra cross hatch stitching. Drums I think are a little bit tricky, so I'll put that like that so you can actually see it. Then I'm going to dive into so I've always kept a box of Christmas stuff. Last year I added this one because I've got so many pillows now that they just take up a lot of room. So I felt like I needed to switch, and put the pillows in someplace bigger. Jingle All the Way is by Scarlet House. I painted these bells and antiqued them to make them rustic. And this is one of my favorites. Well, a lot of these are one of my favorites, so it'll be interesting to see what's all in here. It's always like a surprise. I probably say this every Christmas, but when I haul out my Christmas decorations, it's like getting together with old friends. And sometimes I even say to my ornaments, "Hello, old friends," just in that voice. This, I believe, was Artful Offerings. And I think this was the conversion from Country Sampler. I know that's where I bought the chart. But them to mimic reminds me of toweling, I chose this ribbon. And I think it's just kind of a timeless, fun stitch to have around. This one, it's called Over the Meadow. I'm thinking, don't hold me to it, but I'm thinking this might be JBW. I love the striped ticking. I went with an unusual choice for the back, but I love setting these all out and about under the Christmas tree. This was one Leanne stitched, but never finished. I believe it's a Plum Street. And to be lazy, and this is held up now for several years, so don't mock me too much for it. But I just put a Christmas sticker that I cut out and glued it with Aleene's glue over the hole in the back where the it was open for stuffing. This is another Scarlet House. I love this finish. I added a little faux greenery and berries. I should maybe either add some snow or touch up that red berry so not as noticeable that the paint chipped up off of it. It's another one of my favorite ones. This one is New York Dreamer, Christmas time. I might have changed the words in this one, not positive. I believe this is stitched on Vintage Country Mocha. And this, I love this poinsettia trim. I think it picks up the colors so beautifully. I tossed that. And then the final pillow in this box was one Leanne had stitched. This is I'm pretty sure it's a Brenda Gervais. And I love Santa in a blue coat. It's just different. And to go with the, you know, the colors in the stitch, I just chose this print and just put on a little bit of chenille that I think I maybe coffee dyed myself. But it's a great one. Treasure chest. What I love about having boxes like these, I put them out around my living space and just use them as a place to set a decoration, a Santa, snowman, something like that. Just to give, instead of just having things lined up, give it some different elevation. This was a kit I got from the Woolen Needle. It's a wool applique, and it's just one of those boxes that twist off. So that was a very quick, cute project. I'd have to look up who these are by, but I stitched the other two and I need to finish them now that I see this one. I've got a number of Prairie Schooler Santas. And these I stitched on 24 count Vintage Country Lugana, Mocha Lugana. This piece is by Prairie Schooler. And it is, I believe, Christmas Eve. I had such a hard time deciding how to make those snowflakes look. And in the end, I think the darker gray works out just fine. I was lucky enough to find this beautiful frame. And I think it picks up the color of the reindeers perfectly. I can't remember what was in it, but someone had a custom frame piece in here. And so it worked out just perfectly. This was a little stocking I bought years and years and years ago at a craft fair. And back after StitchCon, I had met Karen and we were both stitching stockings for our grandson. So we kind of bonded over that and kept in touch. And that Christmas was the Christmas of COVID. And so she sent me this cute little stitched reindeer. It seems like yesterday and yet, you know, a lifetime ago. This was a freebie chart that I just stitched with one color floss, made into a little ornament. Kathy of To Dye House gifted me this chart, and well, it was actually a kit. I made it into a little wall hanging with this little hanger thing, metal hanger thing. But I think it's called Candy Cane. Another Prairie Schooler Santa. This was a kit I bought at Country Sampler with their conversion. So it came as a little pillow. This is one that needs a little fixing. We've got a snowflake with a floppy, I don't know what these are called. But this is a Brenda Gervais. I believe I used all the called for colors on this. I'm thinking it's Mr. Frosty, but I could be all wrong. I know it's with the needle and thread. So for those of you who have been with Lost and Floss since the beginning, you'll remember this one. It's a Prairie Schooler. There's 3 or 4 different triangular shaped pieces in that. And when I got this tree, it was the only one left, so I bought it anyways, and it had no top. So we laughed about that, but I thought by making a Santa hat, I think it just, it looks so cute, and it's still like one of my all-time favorites. There's something about a gold house and a wreath for me that, like, I'd probably stitch anything that had that in it. So, it was a fun one and brings back many memories of Leanne and I laughing about it. This is from, the Prairie Schooler monthly series, and it is December. A year of stitches or something like that. Did I say Prairie Schooler? I can't remember. This was a freebie by Pinker and Pumpkin. I always forget exactly how the name goes, but she has the cutest charts and just has them available for people to stitch for free. And I have this sitting with my vintage and not vintage Santa mug collection. Can't go wrong with a flat fold. This one is from Luminous Fiber Arts. Noelle. When I saw Misty's, I'm like, I'm going to stitch that. And sorry if it's making you seasick. I'm going to stitch it, and I'm going to stitch it just like she did. And let's see. Oh, there's one more thing in the box. It's a thrift find that I found. I bought it mostly for the frame, and then the more I thought about it, it's like somebody worked really hard on this, and it's pretty and it's timeless, and I'm just gonna leave it in there. I wish it had a date on it, but it doesn't. All right, so now we're gonna move on to shopping. Let's see. I was up north at the cabin, which was great because it made for a lot of stitching time. And because I had my own car, I had the pleasure of stopping at the quilt shop in Osseo, Wisconsin. It's pretty soon close to the expressway, probably less than a mile off the expressway. And it is just the cutest little shop. They have a very nice selection of quilty things, as well as wool applique, and let's see. I saw a little cross stitch, a little like embroidery. I think there was punch needle. Wool, I said wool applique. So if you're ever in the area, oh yeah, it's the quilting nook and more. If you're ever in the area, you definitely should stop in. I chatted with Terry, who recognized me from the channel, so she's going to get the joy of having her picture being posted here, and along with a few photos from inside the shop. So enjoy, and hi Terry. So what did I buy there? I tried, like I had a fall thing in my hand, and then I had a Christmas thing, and then I'm like, okay, you're ready to go with a Christmas kit you bought from Country Sampler, and so don't go with that one. I have a Valentine kit I also am ready to go with from Ye Old Schoolhouse. So I thought, why not get something patriotic? So I picked out Stars and Ribbons, Trisha Lynn Maloney, Orphan Quilt Designs. They had this sample made up in the shop, and hopefully I have a picture of it. And they had the quilt pack ready to go. And it just, it seemed simple enough, and I liked the colors that they had selected, so I went with it. In addition to that, I bought a panel for what? A project bag? Oh, and speaking of project bags, the last one I mailed, I figured out like what I could use to mail them more inexpensively. So I'm hoping to be offering giveaways for more of those. Especially I have Teresa Colgate fabric that I want to use for anyone buying her wool applique Santas. It'd be a great place to put them. But anyways, probably in the next, or if not the next, the one after that video, we'll probably be having another giveaway. But anyways, this is something different. It was this, like, it wasn't a panel, but I thought, wouldn't this be cute then to do with more of a heavyweight foam, and then just machine quilts around some of those objects. And for the top of it, because I didn't do this last time, I found this corresponding print. So I think that'll be really cute. And then they had, I so wanted to buy the kits because it looks so different than this chart does. Very muted tones, but I have a lot of leftover pieces from the autumn quilt that I did. And so I thought this would be a great way to use some of them up and make a table runner. and just to get all the shopping over with at once. So on the way home from the cabin, I had to go through Madison, and so decided I would stop and pick up my This Happy Morning stitch piece that had been framed. Unfortunately, the frame had a lot of copper like showing through, and when I looked at the sample, there was hardly any of that showing. So they happily are going to pop it out of the frame and, rub something on that to deepen it up. So they'll let me know when it's done. When I was in there, they were working on this piece that I swear was as long as a couch. I don't even know what it was going to be. It didn't have anything on it. So maybe it was the background for something, but it was like, holy cow, that is a big piece. I don't even know how you begin to start with that. But anyways, as I always do, I did not buy a single chart. I really didn't take the time to look because I thought you have enough. But they had a piece of 40 count Lakeside Pecan Butter Vintage, which really is one of my favorites. Well, anything Lakeside, if I can get it, somewhat in the count that I like, I will snap it up. Okay, now I have some stitching to share with you. And I guess I'll save chit-chat for the end. Other than, I don't want to forget to show you this. So, my granddog, Gary the dog, he celebrated his 3rd birthday around Halloween, and so he got dressed up to celebrate because he now is legal age in dog years. So I'm going to insert a picture of Gary the dog so you could all see how cute he looked in his formal attire here. So I thought you'd enjoy that. All right, so let's see. I've been working on We Gather Together, the proper stitcher, and the one I'm stitching is a conversion kit from Country Sampler. This is my 2025 Leanne's Legacy piece. So I made a little bit of progress on these items and then have started the vine. Before my next video, I want to finish this vine up and maybe start on those leaves or the wording. I'm really enjoying the colors in it. All right, now let's bring up the stocking, shall we? So I feel good at where I am for getting this done this year. So I think you will see a finished stocking. Just as a reminder, this is Rooftop Santa. It's I think it's from 2003, an old gold dimensions kit. Pardon me. I won't show you the name yet because that's gonna have to change. But essentially, I'm almost done. I have to finish out this area here as well as to add some stars. I am kind of going off the chart, like they didn't have any bottom border, and I kind of like the name in a border. So I chose these colors from the design, which I'm happy with. I didn't think Adam showed up enough, so then I tried outlining with this color floss, and I hate that. That's gotta go. Then I tried to do 10 stitches around, and I don't know if I like that any better. I might just, I would have liked the gold had it not been such a fancy font. I might just, because, you have to think of it in terms of what's going to show. the top band is going to get like some metallic thread and gold beads on it. And then there's going to be, I'm going to put some, instead of stars, I'm going to put some snowflakes. So this is what's going to show, maybe in a little bit. So I don't know. What do you think? I know it's distracting now that the gold is in there, but, and there's going to be some white here and some white here. And this is going to be more blue here. But I'm thinking, what I'm thinking of doing really is I'm going to do all the back stitching and the few beads that I'm going to add to it and some of the gold specialty thread that I'm going to add in for a little zing. I'm going to take out the first back stitching on the A because I know that's horrendous and I don't like it. But I guess I'm going to keep thinking on if the name shows up enough, and also, like, what would you do? That's a good question. I need your help. Like, what would you do for the name? Would you leave it? Would you restitch it in the light gold color? So I think there's enough. I don't know. Maybe I should stitch it in the white or the light blue. I don't know. So give me some suggestions. I trust your opinions. I assigned myself some homework last time on the red sampler, Keeping Tradition red sampler. I've showed this oh so many times before. I was supposed to get all these things done. Well, I got most of them done except for one. And instead of doing the one that's right here, I decided to do this motif that goes around first so I can make sure the placement is, excuse me, what it should be. But I don't know if this will be done in 2025, but I am pleased with the progress that's being made on it. And I kind of like assigning myself little tasks like that so that I, eventually would get it done. So this is you'll remember the project bag I made for Pennsylvania Christmas deer. By Shakespeare Peddler. I mean, who doesn't like a coordinated project? I mean, this just makes me happy. Anyways, I worked a little bit on this quilty star, and by my next video, I will have this finished and the inside. This is Aztec Red. I started it back at the end of August, so I guess that's really not too bad a time. Many of you are getting this chart now because it's been released to the public. It's another Shakespeare Peddler, and it's Peace on Earth. It truly is like one of the prettiest things. But that house is no joke. Anyways, I stitched on this quite a bit at the cabin. And I really have gotten that area not done, but close to being done. Let's see, what am I missing on the roof? Oh, I need another chimney. I should do that soon so I don't forget to put that on. There's another chimney that goes there. And I tend to stitch with the color until I run out and then go back to like the motifs that I'm using. So for the next video, I want to get this side of the house done, and hopefully the chimney. That seems doable. I am such a seasonal stitcher. Like, it's not that I don't want to work on fall, but Christmas is grabbing me right now. This was Annie B's Harvest Moon. And I am changing the colors on it. Very pleased with how it's looking. So I filled in this part here, and it's hard to see, but I'm working on the door down below and the windows. I did do one set of windows, and I think it's a gray color that you outline the inside of the panes with, and I think I'm going to use more of a chocolatey brown just to set it up a little bit. Let's see, what else do we have here? Ooh. Prairie School of Santas. I started this one when I went up to Amana, and then I took it up north hoping to really make some good progress on it because it's the 2025 Santa, but I accidentally forgot my ringer floss for it. So that didn't help me much, but I pulled it out last night again because I have maybe 3 others that I'm going to finish for this year, and so I kind of would like to get this one done before I do the finishing. As I mentioned, I'm stitching these on 24 count vintage country mocha Lugana. This one, he really doesn't have too many color changes. I think he's going to be quick to finish up. That's my take on it. And what else do we have here? Oh, this one is a beautiful one. And I know I worked on my other Plum Street sampler, the one from the retreat this year, the spring retreat, but I didn't really get that much more done. I was supposed to get the roof done, and that didn't happen. But this one is American Welcome. I've made a little bit of progress on the top border. I was working on this area, so I completed that and went on to add some of the flowers. That's about halfway on the top border. So I think I'll just keep going and hopefully get another leaf or 2 in. And then it'll be fun to work down and start doing houses. Okay, as mentioned last video, maybe the last couple videos, I have 3 Christmas pieces. I was going to say 3, but I'm like, I don't think I need to show, like, you know, hand motions for 3. I think everyone understands the word 3. And then I was like, well, why would I just wave in the middle of the video? But hello, are you still paying attention? All right, back to what I was saying. I mentioned that I have 3 Christmas projects that I really am, I know I'll get 2 of them done. I'm hoping for 3. The stocking, and this is project number 2, Gathering the Green Sampler by Stacy Nash. And I had just done this cross border, but none of the alphabet. And look how pretty that looks. So for the next next video, I would like to get letters to go over this far, like halfway through the house. Let's see. 1, 2, and maybe a little farther. It would be nice if I could get the lettering and numbers done in 3 assignments. But, you know, speaking of gold houses, it's beautiful. There's nothing, I'm so glad I was debating putting the woman with the flower basket, and now I just love her. She's not a naked Adam and Eve, so she's okay in my book. There's just, I don't know, I'm not a big Adam and Eve motif lover. I'll put it out there. I know many of you just love that, but I don't know. Like, too often they look like Egyptian dancers to me or something. I don't know. All right, well, we have a finish, and I'm really excited about this because I'm going to take it in on Tuesday and have it framed just like my friend Beth did. Mary, Stacy Nash. This was a kit from Country Sampler, but I think it used all the called for colors. This one had a lot of stitching on it, much more than I would have ever thought. But I think I did everything like the chart, except I added a doorknob. I thought, that house needs a doorknob. I royally screwed up the snowflakes, but I just kind of went over them, and I think they're fine. This fill, I could have sworn this color was a blue-gray, and it's really more of a gray. But I love how it turned out, but man, that was a beast. So I'm very excited about that. As far as life updates, I've been doing some fun things. I think this was after, I went with my high school group of friends out to lunch at the Pfister, which is a historic fancy hotel in downtown Milwaukee, and we were able to we had the best waiter, could hang out at our table and just chat and relax and catch up, and we're going to be getting together here in December, so I look forward to seeing them all again. It is amazing to me how, and I say this many times, but we're all so different, and yet there's just this bond that is lovely. And I don't know. I don't know if it's from, we all pretty much were raised with similar parenting styles. Maybe that's part of it, but they're just wonderful women, and I'm so happy to have them in my life. As are a lot of friends. I don't want to just differentiate on that. I mean, but it's just something when you've known these people over 50 years and you still consider those friendships sacred. So anyways, we had a nice lunch other than our $13 mimosa, which I thought was a tad bit pricey, but I'm like, oh, well, let it go. We had free parking, so you could get it validated, but it's a beautiful hotel. If you're ever in Milwaukee, just walk through the lobby. I hope to get down there. I used to work like just a couple of blocks away, and so I hope to get down there. I would think they're starting to decorate for Christmas now, and it's just beautiful the way they trim it out for the holidays. So anyways, and then later in the week, my friend and I went to a tour of a home that they decorated, and then people come through and they use the money, contributing it towards the Ronald McDonald House, which is near our medical center complex, the Children's Hospital. And many families go there and stay. And so it's just such a worthwhile place that they can go and stay without incurring costs while their children are being treated in the hospital. And anyway, so this house was just fabulous. How they do it is various stores and interior designers take rooms and then they decorate it, like, I don't know, some have a theme, some don't, but it's always great to get some decorating ideas for your own house, even though it's like, I don't remember the square footage, but it was a large house. It was beautiful. And then my friend and I went to out to Panera's for lunch, and I had picked her up because she needed it. Her car was in the shop right over there. So we picked up her car, and then we decided to go to Costco together. Well, like, we're going in, I'm trying to swipe my card, and it's a younger kid that's standing by the card reader, and he's like, "This is what I heard." And I just must have looked at him, and he's like, "Ugh." And I'm still like, my card is still not working. And then I finally hear him say, "Move your finger." So like, I moved my finger, but it was actually my thumb that was blocking it. And I'm looking at my friend and we're just laughing, and you could just tell how annoyed he was. And so finally I'm like, I take it and I'm holding on the edge, and it beeps and I'm in. And as I walk by, I just hear him go like, "Oh my gosh, how can anyone be such an idiot?" And I'm like, to begin with, I'm thinking, well, if I give instructions to someone and they're not understanding what's wrong, I try to explain it a different way. But I don't know what made me say this, but as I walked away, I just said to him, "Someday you're going to be old." And I'm like, Why did I say that? I mean, it was just stupid. So it's like my moment of rage in Costco. But it's fun shopping with my friend. I'm usually with my husband, who's like a speed racer trying to get through, and we ended up finding a deal on great pajamas for $6 for 2 pair, and it was great because the one pair are definitely summery pajamas, and up at the cabin, my chair is next to the Franklin stove, and I swear every night I feel like I'm just, I don't know. I think I know what hell would feel like, because it's so hot. I can barely stand it. And my husband's like, a little bit away, and he's been outside all day, so he's cold, but I've just like been inside stitching. And so I've learned to dress lightly, so these new pajamas were perfect for that. What else? I have haircut on Monday, so maybe that'll mean some good thrifting. I did some driving for the grandkids, so that was fun to see. That was before I went up north, and I was just shocked when I went over there because I rang the doorbell and I looked in the window and they had their Christmas tree up already, which, I mean, last year they were on vacation after Thanksgiving, and I think with the shortened, like losing the weekend of the holidays or the December pre-Christmas, things just got too rushed. So I think my daughter is, definitely on the bandwagon of let's try to get some of this stuff done earlier. I'm trying to think. We had Stitch Group yesterday, our local Stitch Group in our new location, which everybody like arrives and says, oh, love where this is. So that's good. And it was fun. It was just a small group of us, but it's always nice. You don't miss any of the conversation because it's all, you're all involved in it. It's not like, people at one end or another end and that sort of thing. And thank you. Thank you for all the comments about my orange sweater. It's starting to kind of grow on me, and there's a lot of people who liked it. So thank you. I'm going to Country Sampler next week with, she started out as Leanne's friend who they did quilting with, but every year we get together and do a shopping day as our way to connect and reminisce, and so we'll be going there, and that'll be fun. I'm going to be spending a day baking with the Czech nationality CZECH group in our area. They have a booth at the folk fair, and so I got an email asking me to help decorate cookies. So I hope my skills are gonna, be up to par, because the videos she sent me were like someone just like going to town with very thin lines and, like carrying their piping and dropping it off. And I'm like, oh boy, I should be practicing. But I remember seeing the cookies one other time and thinking, well, I could do that. So hopefully that'll go well. And then right before Thanksgiving, my sister-in-law, my daughter, and I are getting together again to bake cookies for the troops. We did that, I think it was 2 years ago. I think we skipped last year, but it was so much fun, and we decided to simplify. Last time we each came with 2 different kinds of cookies, the dough all made, and then we just had to form them and bake them. And this year I proposed that we just make a double batch of just one kind, or, you know, a higher quantity of one kind, I think will probably simplify and keep things flowing a little bit faster. So that'll be fun. It's, you know, always amazing how, you know, time flies and you don't see family members for a while. I'm not going to talk about Wisconsin sports because basically it all is bad. So I'm like, oh my gosh, you know, to have such high hopes and it's just going down the tubes. But, you know, it's fine. It's still fun to watch. All right. Well, I think that's about it. I just want to say thank you to my many new subscribers. I was just thrilled because I'm diligently working towards hitting a milestone number, and I'm thrilled that a bunch of new people found me and liked the channel and commented. I love it when people comment because it's just, I sit here talking to myself. I have no idea, you know, what the feedback is. So it's so pleasant when people take the time just to write a short note or whatever, letting me know that they enjoyed the channel, or even if they if you have a question, please ask. I try to answer them in your comment just because it's just easier than, you know, waiting till the next time I record and trying to remember what the questions were and blah, 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 blah. So Thanksgiving, fall is down in my house. I still have to carry the crates down, but I'm going to be decorating for Christmas. So I don't care what you people think, but that's what I'm going to do. Oh, I have two more things to show you. I had these sitting over to the side. This is, I replicated Leanne's finish, and I don't know if she did a color change, but this is another wintertime. I love this. New York Dreamer, Vintage Country Mocha, ruche trim, this beautiful blue polka dot. It's so cute, isn't it? So really special stitch. And that one, if you're looking for new tutorials, Leanne and I made a pillow finishing tutorial, and you know, she's got a lot of really good tips, and we're doing it live, so you can, well, not live, but in real time, so you can, you know, hear me ask questions and her give reasons for doing things and that sort of thing. And then the other thing I have is this Twin Peaks, is it Twin Peaks Primitives? And it's on like this paper mache hat. Oh, it looks like the berries. I guess I spun it a little too vigorously, but added a little snow on there, and I love this. You know, I just have it sitting out on a table or whatever. So, but I think that's it. Although, you know, usually you know how that goes. Like, you're thinking and it's like, where's that item? Where's that item? So who knows? But okay, we're done. It's I got my tulip bulbs planted the other day, as well as all my pots emptied, but it's a gorgeous day out there. Great sunlight. So do I need to be outside? Probably not. I should go for a walk, but I might just do some stitching instead and try to get some of my Christmas things finished. And oh, I do have earmuffs if you're in my stitching group, please. I have to start my exchange gift. I have a month to stitch it. I will get it done. So my hardest thing is always deciding what I should make for the person. I think I know, but Like last night, I almost changed it, but then when I looked at the size of the thing I was going to do instead, it was too tiny. So, back to the original. We'll see. But I will get it done, and we have our Christmas exchange coming up next month in Stitch Group, so that will be fun. And it always amazes me, the talent of the women in this group. It's just phenomenal, and there's so many awe-inspiring stitches and finishes, and it's fun. So stay tuned for that. And I don't know when I'll record, if it'll be before or after Thanksgiving, whatever feels appropriate. That's why please subscribe and ring the little bell so you are notified when my new videos are live. And yeah, I hope you're all doing well, and please continue to fill the world with